Ooh, I nearly fell over the fucking headphone cord. I'm a little drunk, just forewarning, so if I don't do great, it's because of that, alright? You read the title correctly. Rainbow Six Siege, but in VR. It's a really wild experience. I play Siege every day, probably for at least 2 hours a day, and I never thought I'd experience something so close to the game that I've loved and hated since like 2015. A friend of mine, TK, talked me into playing the game, and I ain't gonna lie. I thought I'd hate it, so I took a long time to buy it, but I'm low-key in love with it. I played for a solid 2 hours, and this is pretty much my first impressions of the game. I loved every minute of it. I've been looking for new VR games to play because Tabor really hasn't been fun for me these last few months, and I think I may have found it. The gunplay is really enjoyable. Reloading is really simple, actually. All you have to do is smack the mag into the gun. The rest is taken care of for you. And someone that's a little goofy in VR, like myself, I appreciated this. Sometimes, you know, reloading guns and stuff like that, not having something physical in my hands to brush off of or to know the weight of, sometimes I can act a little funny and move both hands at once, or the mag won't really go on the gun. And then the charging handle, sometimes I won't know where it is and it'll get me killed in a lot of scenarios. But with this game, all you have to do is hit an eject button and then pop the mag in. It's super simple and it works so amazingly. For any of you guys that may be on the younger side, I know this will probably help you because you're not exactly familiar with guns. Maybe you just don't know where the charging handle is for every firearm by nature, like I do. So this is the kind of thing that helps out a little bit of everybody and makes it a little more equal. It still has a timer for when you put the mag in the gun to actually rack the gun, which I think is a great way to balance it so you can't just spam reload and have infinite ammo. But it helps everybody out because it makes it easier for everybody to enjoy it. And it also doesn't take away and make it too easy where it's like, okay, well, I can just spam this if I'm good enough. It doesn't have a drone phase like Siege does, but it has a buy phase. So if you're familiar with Counter-Strike at all, you'll be familiar with this system where you buy and prepare all your weapons, and then I'll add it on, you can also get to where you want to on the map. So it's like a mix of Siege and CS, because in the prep phase, the attackers are actually moving so they can get on whatever end of the building they want to breach in from. It's a really nice way of doing it. It lets you kind of prep and figure out with your team where you want to entry point from and then how you want to play the match. It kind of lets you set up everything beforehand, and especially even on the defense side, you can kind of, if you want to sit in a certain corner and watch a certain area of the map, you can do that. It's kind of an open ball field. And sometimes it can change the way matches go so drastically. The only issue I really have is the fact you have to purchase the breaching charges. I wish that was kind of just a standard thing that come on everybody so we could get in the building, but that's more of like a little bit of a gripe. I like the fact that most of the stuff, actually, you can just bash it with your hands instead of need a breaching charge, but things like hatches, etc., you need a breaching charge. And just like in Siege, sometimes you forget to bring one, so, you know, a little bit of a personal issue. Oh, this is going to be weird, TK.
Why?
Because we're attacking, and I don't know how to do that yet.
You can shoot them, you can punch them, you can hit them with your gun, and you can do anything.
Oh wait, we can't even do that.
Yeah,
dude, in real life, you want to breach a door, put your ass to it and kick like a horse. That's a really good way to breach a door in real life. This game is a big step up from Pavlov and Contractors and Tabor if you like shooters. This game's in its own different world. It differs so much from the games out there right now that I don't know. I feel like this is a different change of pace. You take it slower, but also you can do things like you do in Siege where you swing people, and whatever you want to do, it's open. I'm watching above us. Just be careful down there. I'm watching above.
Winger be swung! Winger be swung!
In Pavlov, I always felt like it was like, okay, spawn in, die, spawn in, die, spawn in, die. But with this, it kind of goes everywhere. I don't know, this is so refreshing and new, and the system it's built off of works so well. I don't know what engine it's running on, I'm not sure what it is. The graphics are, I would say, acceptable. They're not mind-boggling, but it's not blurry like other VR games are. I've experienced a lot of blur and stuff in the ranges in Pavlov, where it's like when people are further off, which you really will get in more far-off battles in Pavlov than you will in this game. I've always noticed that there's a little bit of a gaseous blur on people, and it bothers me a little bit, and that's why VR always felt not so realistic. In this game, there's no blur, and the game runs better than any other VR game I have on the PC VR. I think it's because the maps are so small and it's not very straining on a computer, but it's amazing. It's so nice to get the full 100 hertz of my Quest 3 while also running a really high resolution. It looks amazing. So if you're running on a PC that's not exactly the best, or again, probably on the standalone, it probably runs better than most of these games just because it's not very taxing. Compared to things like Tabor, again, that run kind of rough and that are on big maps, etc., they can be a little blurry, or the graphics may be tuned down so you can actually run it on standalone. And this game doesn't really have to do that. So it's a nice change of pace. One of my favorite features is, in the gunfighting, is leaning. There's a box on the floor that tells you where your feet are set, and if you lean in real life, you actually lean in the game.
You lean in, look down, there's a little square. That is where your legs are in the game. So if you lean in real life, then...
Oh, we be. So for Siege players that love pixel peeking, it's still in this. Gonna strike a chord, it's probably a minor. Oh, I got my first kill. It's like Siege, it's just like Siege. That is one of the most impressive things to me in the VR, because I have a bad habit of I will lean in Tabor and I will lean in Contractors and I'll lean in all these other FPS shooters because I'm so used to leaning in video games that it's kind of natural habit to kind of lean over to your left so you can get like less of your body showing but more of your gun and your head showing, so they have less to shoot. And those games, they don't ever implement any way of you actually doing that. But how this does it is so nice, and it doesn't break it. You can't just float around if you wanted to, because that box will move to wherever you're standing in your play space if you actually move away from where you're standing. So yeah, you can lean and slow wall, but you also, you know, if you're a little too far out, it's gonna move the box under you kind of thing. So it's very balanced. If I was to suggest a game that is closest to this in gunplay feel, it's probably Contractors. Not Showdown, well, maybe, but normal Contractors. It feels a little bit better than that, honestly. I love how connected you feel to your game model, and it truly feels like it's really you. They do a really good job of guessing where your arms and where your shoulders are gonna be, and how you're kind of standing and how you're positioning your body. I was even joking with my buddy that his dancing looks really realistic, because they actually could guess where his arms would...
No, we would have to go in the game.
Man. Why are you dancing?
Wait.
Is that actually you moving? Are you actually doing that dance? Like in real, why does it look so good? Dude, the movement in this game, hold on.
Wait, I want to show you something. So you know, like...
Fight? You want a fist fight? Like, tight, like on hood? I'm skilled in that Shine. That right overhand, Shine, went crazy. Word is bond. It's an issue I've ran into every other VR game on the market right now. Not even FPSs, Blade and Sorcery, everything, Boneworks. It's one of those issues that obviously it's going to come with you not having full body tracking in VR, but even with full body tracking, I feel like sometimes it can be really glitchy. You feel so connected to your body for just being in a Quest that it blew my mind the first time feeling that, and now I really do want to get full body trackers just to experience what that's like. Same with the crouching, actually. It can be buggy if you truly do crouch, like in real life, like I do when I play VR games, but if you use the joystick to crouch, it's one of the nicest, smoothest feelings I've got in any VR game so far. They've perfected this, and I don't know how long this game's been out, but they have somehow, some way got it perfect. I feel like every VR game should take notes for how they track the body of a person and how they guesstimate where your arms and legs are going to be. I feel completely in control, basically. It's an extremely hard game, but in a good way. It's not broken and you don't die to things that you're not supposed to, like some of the games that I've complained about in the past. You truly just have to get better, and it takes a long time to grasp, but it's worth it. It feels so rewarding and it's so satisfying to get kills. Like me and my friend always joke about the fact that the reason why Siege is so addicting is because it's so satisfying to get a kill, and same with like Call of Duty Cold War, if you guys played that. It's so satisfying to get kills in those games that it keeps driving you to want to get better at the game so you can get that satisfying feeling, that little dopamine shot that you get for winning a gunfight. This is one of those games where if you win a 1v3, it just blows your mind. You feel like you're the best in the business. Like, it's just so mind-boggling whenever you do something like that, because it's such a dopamine hit for you. The enjoyment you get from it is just unmatched. I don't know what is so satisfying about it, but I love it so much. And again, it just combats all the other games I play in VR. Now, there are little things my buddy was griping about that I didn't really know what he was talking about until I really got into the game and started realizing it. The Taurus handgun is a little broken, seeing that sometimes it one taps people, and then sometimes when my buddy uses it somehow it like 18 taps people. I don't know if that's a skill issue or just, you know, whatever it may be. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got... Come on, Shine. Come on, Shine. Come on, Shine. Come on. Come on, word is born. I was really struggling learning the maps and how to play. I'm so used to Siege and all those maps that I thought the maps would be set up similar, kind of copying those maps, but they're all completely unique and different. Some of the maps are good, some of the maps are bad. Just like every other game, it's more personal preference, and we may all agree on one map than others. It differs. I know I didn't really run into any bad maps as much as my buddy TK thought there was a bunch of bad maps. You know, all the maps felt pretty balanced to me. There was one that was a little bit bigger than most, and I didn't care for that one as much. But again, maps are all personal preference, so if you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. And some of us may agree more than others. Well, truly, I don't have much more to say about the game other than that. So I'm going to leave you guys with the rest of the funny moments me and my friends got from playing this game. I love you guys, and I hope you enjoy the rest. Damn it. I wanted to f***ing NLE Choppa it. I hate this game. Clan name. What do you want the clan name to be?
I already have a clan name with my friends. Sorry, buddy.
We're not gonna talk about what I was gonna make my clan name.
Oh!
Like when there's a pie on like an edge and like the like a cartoon character like goes at it, like smelling, and they float. You ready? Great.
Bruh. Hey, blood. Really about what are you pointing at? Damn, I fell for that. I didn't buy a sight for my gun. Can I buy one still?
Yeah, that's what I was pointing at, but I didn't say anything.
Why did the f didn't you say anything, you dumb
I don't know.
I know this may be a bad time right now, but you owe me $32,000 in legal fees. About that shit, brother. You ain't really about that Atlanta shit you give me, brother. Oh, don't do that. Like I went 4-11 and I still love this game, dude. I went TK's real height, and I'm still fine. I went BLT's. I went BLT's weight.
411 pounds.
Can my controller have tracking? Please? Fight one-handed. I don't give a f. I just want to do a bit of boxing before bed.
That's real 7X. That sounds mad suspense though.
Him.
1,
Him.
2.
Alright, we won. Alright, I'm going to bed.